Welcome back to the GSL Code A.
Yes, indeed. Sponsored by Hot 6, who are so clever that they use a 6 instead of the S in the word 6.
Yeah. Notice that MVP, of course, will stay in Code S. This is our result of match 1. So we've talked, I think, enough about that, though. Let's talk about our next match, which will be the STC against Curious. And I feel this is going to be the closest match we have today. It's hard to say about some of the other matches. They'll be pretty close themselves, but this one I feel will really be the one that tests the skill of these two players. They're both players who are on the cusp of Code S. You know, right now you can see the STC has gone from B to A. He's been around for a long time. He's done really well in online tournaments, and he's done decently in Team League, but this is his chance to really show himself in the individual league. Curious really showed himself with Code A. He took out Oz 4-0 in the Code A finals, the final Code A finals in GSL history. And then, of course, recently fell down from S to A. He's going to be in the up and downs regardless. But can he take out the STC and go straight to S? Well, the STC claim his S spot. It's a really interesting situation both these players are in, because I feel like both of them should be Code S, but can they claim it? And it's all about consistency. The STC, I feel, has not played consistently enough to get that S yet. Can he get it today? Yeah,
I think Curious is a little more deserving at this point of the Code S spot. The STC, he's definitely has the potential. I know I'm not going to say that he's not Code S material, but because I just haven't seen enough out of him. But I think he has some proving to do still before he can kind of be worthy of that, because he's played pretty inconsistently in the past. Yeah. You know, some days he just looks really good and he can beat the top level players, and other days he kind of looks like a scrub, to be honest. So he's got to maintain a high level, I think, to be, well, to actually be competitive in Code S. So he's got to at least maintain that level before he can get into Code S, and he's going to have a tough time defeating Curious, actually.
Yeah, Curious, the emotionless killer, man. He always looks so emotionless in his booth. And once when asked in an interview, how do you feel before the match, he says, I try to remove my emotions before I sit down and play. And I mean, you could see it on his face. He just looks so emotionless. Whether he wins or loses, he often just looks at the screen without changing expression. And it's something to respect, though, really. If he can remove his emotions before he plays, it's going to make it a lot easier for him to concentrate.
Yes, it will indeed. And yeah, I mean, it helps you really focus, and some players have actually had problems with nerves in the past, and it's caused them issues, so that's really good of him to be able to just kind of put that behind him. Although, he also doesn't celebrate at all. He doesn't even look happy when he wins either, so you'd think you'd drop that once you finished your win, but I guess it's hard to go in and out. Anyway, yeah, the STC has been doing pretty well this season, and is he going to be able to defeat Curious and get into Code S? I do not know. The up and down matches are going to be so tough this season.
Oh, absolutely, Moletrap. This is going to be such an important match for both these players. Neither of them wants to go through the arduous up and downs. Can the STC take it, or will Curious remain in Code S? Let's find out in the GSL, sponsored by Hot 6.
All right, down here at the bottom right of the map on Belshire Beach is our Terran player who beat Lucira in the first round of Code A this season. STC. Although I would actually argue that Curious is in much better shape than Lucira right now. Lucira's been in a little bit of a slump.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
Up here at the top left is his opponent. This is the player that killed the cat. Will he be able to kill the STC?
Started Curious.
Yep. Now, something to note about this map pool is that it's a little bit tough for the STC coming off on Belshire, a map that historically Terrans have not felt as comfortable against Zergon. It's not a map that it's imbalanced, for example, but it's a map where Terrans do not feel as comfortable. Oftentimes you see strategies like the one we're seeing right now with an extremely forward barracks.
Whoa.
You might as well ask Curious to marry him with how forward that barracks is, man.
Yeah. Yeah, the STC is better have a ring, because apparently he likes Curious enough to be that close. He's getting close very fast, but it is only the one barracks, it's not two.
Yeah.
So he's going to try and put some pressure on here, but this is not any kind of all-in exactly.
Ooh, I think he might make a second barracks. No, he's actually...
Oh, is he?
No, he's preparing to take his natural. He sent a second SCV out, then hovered it around for a while, scouting for drones, I think, and I think he's going to make it at a command center. Actually, he's starting gas now. Interesting. He's keeping me guessing. We could see a tech lab on this barracks after the first Marine. He might send Reapers.
That'd be interesting.
And he is going to make a bunker here. It is spotted. He only has one SCV here. The second one is going to arrive shortly.
Drones coming off the line. He wants to take this seriously.
As you should. The Marine may get surrounded here. The SCV needs to complete that bunker.
Yep, one SCV is about to die to that drone. It's been going to work at it, but the bunker is nearly complete. The Marines, though, have been killed. The SCV dies.
Ah, the bunker!
The second SCV? No!
Literally,
the other SCV.
One in-game second away from completing. Does not complete.
Wow.
But a lot of mining time lost here.
Yeah, that's a lot of mining time lost. Once he realizes there's no more SCVs coming to complete this, he's like, all right, well, I'll just mine. My Zerglings are on the way. They can finish off the bunker. And he's going to try and actually kill one of the injured drones. Is he going to get it? Looks like he will get another drone.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't try to save it with an extractor. But there we go. That's
so
clean this up.
Kind of an even trade, I would say, in general. I mean, 2 SCVs in Marine for 3 drones. Not horrible for either player, but you're right, he did lose a lot of mining time with 5 or 6 of his drones.
He does not have a spine prepared for the factory that's going to start sending units out either. Command Center does start for STC now. He's getting his gases out. The Zerg player is Curious. And the barracks is actually put into the main base of Curious. That is the most forward barracks I've ever seen. He just doesn't quit, man.
No.
The girl says don't call again. He starts playing a guitar outside the balcony. And we still haven't gotten a shot of it. There's a Marine in the main base actually trying to fight a Queen.
By the way, speaking of wedding proposals, I want to give a shout out to one of my Twitter followers, Meg. She was just asking me on Twitter actually about the headphones, and this is something that a lot of people might not know. So while the barracks is retreating, I want to mention the headphones, by the way. Some people ask, I actually get this occasionally. People are like, why do they wear 2 sets of headphones? Well, it's actually the earbuds are the ones that deliver the game sounds. And the main reason why they have the larger headphones on top of those is actually just to block out sound so they can't hear the announcers in the studio or anything like that.
Yeah.
Also,
what does that have to do about marriage, though? Or is that just a...
don't worry about it.
Okay. I was just curious. That was like a missing
You're
link.
like, wait a second.
The STC has not made any of his buildings in a normal place. The starport has been made on low ground, even though the units that come out of it can fly. The factory is part of the wall instead of the barracks here. The command center is not made at the natural, it's made in the main base. Not to say any of these things are wrong, but they're just not common. There's a fast medevac, but only 3 Hellions are put inside of it here. And this could do some serious damage because there's no Zergling speed just yet. It's only started. He doesn't have any roaches just yet either. The medevac is not spotted, so we'll see how many drones he can get with this.
Yeah, this is going to be, well, where the Queens are all at the front, right? So he actually might be able to get a little bit of damage done. Spinecrawler's nowhere nearby either. Zerglings are slow, which is going to mean they are not going to be very effective in this, but the Hellions are already very badly damaged. The drones run pretty quickly, and looks like he's going to do pretty much no damage with this drop.
Yeah, this drop is a little weird. I don't fully understand the idea behind this.
Oh, well, he's doing a little bit of cute micro here. He's going to kill some Zerglings.
He needs to be microing a little bit better than that, but the roaches
lifts
are out.
them up. Actually, that wasn't half bad. I kind of like that because he didn't actually lose the Hellions. He just took some damage on them. He killed several Zerglings. He distracted Curious's Queens for a while.
I like this. He's going to really come in when his opponent doesn't expect it, target down some drones. Gets 2.
Oh.
And that's worth it.
There
Get
you
2
go.
and get out. The Viking has been produced back at the starport, which still, by the way, is on the low ground. He's now relocating it to the high ground. A very baffling choice as to why he decided to build that in that location. I'll give you guys some unit numbers right now.
Not, hold on that thought for a second. He's not relenting with this drop at all.
Really
Finally lose that Hellion, and he's going to maybe lose another one. This is starting to get a little reckless. I think he needs to get out now with that. You've done enough damage.
He has not a lot to do with these roaches, Moltrap. There's only one bunker. He doesn't have SCVs pulled. If Curious actually goes up and targets the bunker now, he'll break it, but he's not. He's going to make some Banelings here, though. 11 in total.
Oh, is he might just try and bust him.
I think it's going to work.
That's enough to kill both bunkers.
Look at the supply, Moltrap. 82 to 56. Both bunkers, obviously, are going to try. He's going to try to hold them strong, but with that many Banelings.
What was that?
Baneling dies on an SCV, but there's no SCVs pulled here because he knows.
Oh no, but a lot of the Banelings die before they get to the bunker.
Oh!
But he explodes them right between the bunkers, so they damage both. The roaches finish off the bunkers. All of his SCVs are damaged from a Baneling. This is looking horrible. The STC might just go down right now. He doesn't have anything left. He's having to fight with all of his SCVs.
Nothing he can do. The Hellion's coming back to try to help. I guess the medevac can heal some of these Marines, but he's just losing way too much. 33 drones to 13 SCVs at this point, with more units rallied across the map. I do not think the STC can hold any longer. And
that's going to do it. GG.
Very unorthodox and unusual play out of the STC. Curious shutting down every aspect of it, though.
So, I mean, I'm trying to figure out, like, where the STC, because he was doing some harassment. Did he just forget to macro while he was harassing? Is that what happened? Because then all of a sudden it was 80 supply to 50, and that is
late. He had weird timings for his production facilities. I feel like some people like choose their builds by rolling dice or something, but the STC like rolled a few dice. He like flipped a coin, and he also like threw a banana peel on the ground. He was like, "All right, well, I'm gonna build my starport on the low ground. I'm gonna send this at a really weird time with 3 Hellions." But I mean, the Hellion time was kind of cute, but then it didn't really accomplish anything. And then from there, he was like, well, I guess I'll go home and make a fast third command center because he has roaches and I have no units. And if I don't make the command center, then I'm still behind because I've been making Hellions off of one factory. So one factory with no reactors, so I don't have a lot. I don't have any tanks out. What have I been doing with that barracks that was really forward early? It's been flying around. I don't really know what's going on. It was just kind of like everything for the STC was like all of his buildings were like in the wrong place, and they just weren't building all the time. And I mean, I don't want to call him out too bad, but his play was just like a little bit unrefined in that game. I mean, he was down like 30, 40 supply for no reason at certain times. So
like you pointed that out. I hadn't been looking at the supply before, and you're like, oh, he might just kill him because he's at 30 supply ahead, and I was like, 80 to 50? That's just unacceptable. Like, that early in the game, you shouldn't be that far behind.
I mean, especially not really losing his Hellions. His barracks was flying. He didn't add any extra barracks. He only had 1 starport, 1 factory, and 1
and 1 loss.
Yeah, that's it.
Why did he?
He made a 3rd command center, which was his way of trying to catch up from his aggression failing, but it did not work out for him. And Curious responding quite well. Curious with almost a smile on his face. We almost caught you showing emotion, Curious. I see that.
It's just a trick of the light. Trick of the lighting, but we're going to get into game number 2 here in just a second on Entombed Valley. We're going to find out if Curious can clinch it or will the STC show us some better play.